Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike. If you're new around here, I like to go on camping adventures with my dog Juniper. Usually we're in the Teardrop camper and the Jeep. Sometimes we just travel around and stay at Airbnbs or tent camp or rent cabins or whatever. We just like going on adventures. I've been doing it a long time, so I thought in this video I would share some tips, tricks, and hacks for weekend camping trips. So I appreciate you tuning in. Let's get right into it. The first hack I want to talk about is right over here. It's this, just a plain old tarp. Now, I don't use it all the time when I'm going on camping trips, but I do always have it with me, and it's really nice to have it when I do need it. A tarp has many obvious uses. Rain cover, quick shelter. You can even make a tent out of it if you want to. I like to use a tarp sometimes underneath my Teardrop camper. It just gives a clean surface for us to step on before we're getting in and out of the camper. It provides a nice place for the dog to lay down, and it's easy to clean. You can also tie up a piece of paracord and drape the tarp over it and use it as a quick privacy wall. And if you're all set up with a picnic table and a sudden rainstorm comes by, it's very easy to grab the tarp and throw it over all your stuff. Maybe you have sensitive camera equipment like I do, and it's really nice to be able to quickly protect it from the rain if an unexpected storm happens. And this leads me to my next hack, which is paracord. I think if you're going camping, you should always keep some paracord handy. I have a bunch of pieces of paracord, and I have a couple of really long pieces, and I use it for all kinds of things. Sometimes I'll use it to help secure the tarp to the back of my camper and use it as a rain shelter. I've also used it to secure my little privacy pop-up tent. As you just saw, you can use it for a privacy wall, but you can also use that same piece to hang up towels to dry. You can hang up dishes, and you can also use it to help string up lights around the camp. But we're going to talk more about lights in just a minute. Another really handy use for paracord is to use it as a paper towel holder. On my camper, I just string a piece of paracord between the two latches on the back of the clamshell, and then my paper towels are hanging in a perfect spot. You can get creative with it and see what you can come up with. If you have any other creative uses for paracord, let me know in the comments. Another very important tool that I carry with me every camping trip is these Carabiners. I have a variety of sizes, and this one is a heavy duty one, and it can support a lot of weight. I also have some smaller ones that I use to hang things off of my backpack. I'll hang my water shoes or my sandals when I'm going on a hike. I also use these to hang my satellite communicator so that it's always handy and I can easily disconnect it. They're fast, cheap, and easy, and I highly recommend you keep a bunch of these. Another item you're going to want to have is a good quality camping knife. You can find these on Amazon for between $50 and $100, and even higher if you want. Mine cost $50 and it works great. It came with a ferro rod, so I always have an extra fire starter handy if needed. And there are all kinds of uses for a good camping knife, not just for whittling wood. Of course, you're going to want to use it to make your marshmallow sticks, but you can also use it for opening your firewood packets. I've used mine for cooking. I'll use it to slice steak or even use it as a fork to eat my food. And if you're new to camping, you'll really be surprised at how much you're going to use your knife. So very important to get one of those. When it comes to campfires, there are a few things to keep in mind. Number one, you want to make sure you have a reliable source to start that fire. So I keep 2 lighters with me in the camper at all times. And I also like to use these fire starting blocks. They're really easy. You just light the wrapper. They reliably can start a fire even with damp wood, and it just takes all the worry out of it. Because if you're camping for the weekend, you want to focus on enjoying your camping trip and not struggling with trying to light a fire. If you're in the mood to be a little bushcrafty with your fire starting, you can do other tricks like cotton balls soaked in Vaseline, or dryer lint also works. And bacon grease is also a good way to get a fire going. So do whatever works for you. I like to keep it easy. Another thing I like to do is to freeze a couple of water bottles the night before I leave for a trip. When I'm ready to go the next day, I'll put those bottles in my refrigerator, and that just helps it to run more efficiently. It saves on battery consumption. And this also works if you're using a standard ice cooler. It'll just help your ice last a little bit longer. And then when the bottles thaw out, you have a couple of more bottles of water. It's a win-win. When I'm camping for the weekend, I also like to plan out my meals in advance. So if I'm cooking meat and it needs to marinate, I'll do that the night before. I'll prepare it and put it in the refrigerator at home. I also recommend using pre-sliced vegetables. I enjoy using Pico de Gallo a lot when I'm cooking at camp because you can usually find it at the grocery store pre-made and it's fresh. And Pico de Gallo tastes great on anything. I've put it in scrambled eggs, in chili, on hot dogs, obviously tacos and burritos and things like that. So for a lot of flavor and to get some veggies, Pico de Gallo is the way to go for me. And maybe for you too. But also when it comes to food, I would always recommend bringing rice because you can add it to a wide variety of dishes. You can put it in your tacos and burritos and things like that. It's great for stews and casseroles in the cast iron Dutch oven. But I also recommend having some rice on hand in case your electronics get wet, like your phone. You can put it in that rice to help dry it out. Having things that have a variety of uses really goes a long way. And actually duct tape is another thing you're going to want to bring because duct tape has a lot of uses. You can use it to fix anything, but you might not have known that it's also a great fire starter. So you can just pull off a little piece of duct tape, light it, and it'll help get your fire going. And you can use that if you forgot your fire starting blocks or your dryer lint. So for lighting up your campsite, obviously you want to have a flashlight and some kind of a lantern. I highly recommend that you have a headlamp. I use my headlamp constantly. You just put it on your head and you don't even have to think about it anymore. Whatever you look at lights up and it's great. But I'll show you an old backpacker's trick. When backpacking and you have this in your backpack, it might get jostled around and the button might get pushed accidentally. And then once you get to camp at night, you've discovered that your batteries are dead. So one way to save yourself from a dead battery is to open it up, take the middle battery and reverse it. That'll prevent it from accidentally turning on, and it guarantees your batteries will stay charged. And then when you get to camp, just take it back out and reverse it, and you're good to go. I am horrible when it comes to organization, so I'm still working on reducing the amount of stuff I bring. But when it comes to lighting, I highly recommend this item here, and I'm using it to light this scene actually. This is a camping light that was sent to me by Ogery, and I'll just give you a quick demonstration. It has these wings that fold out and they bend, so you can direct the lighting however you see fit. You can point it in one direction and save somebody's eyes from having to stare into it all night. It also comes with the stand right here, and it easily collapses, folds down. But this light also has a hook, so you can hang it from a branch or a piece of paracord, and it also has a magnet, so you can stick it to your vehicle. It has a battery installed already, and it charges with a USB. There's different lighting modes. You have different brightnesses and a flash. You also have amber lighting. if you push the power button, it changes. And then it combines amber and blue light. And then there's also a flashlight on the top. So I actually really love this light, and I highly recommend this. I'm not being paid by them, but they did send me this light to test it out and share my thoughts. So I really appreciate that I have this. I've already used it a lot, and it really does come in handy for video work as well. So if you are also a YouTuber, you might want to consider this. If you're interested in picking up a light for yourself, I'll put a link down in the description with a discount code. So you'll be saving some money and you'll get a great product. I also have this fan from the same company, Ogery, and I did do a complete demonstration on this fan in this video, which I will link here, and I'll put a timestamp so you can cue directly to the fan if you're interested in seeing that. But one thing I didn't mention in that demo is that you can use this fan to stoke a fire. And it also has a battery on the bottom and charges via USB. There's a light on the front right here with 3 different modes. So I think this fan and the light will definitely enhance your camping experience. Click the links, check them out. I also highly recommend that you keep some wet wipes with you at camp. And I always bring 2 different types. This big yellow can is my tub of towels. And these are a little more heavy duty than your standard wet wipes. And I use these to clean up the kitchen, clean my hands. Sometimes I'll just clean my face a little bit if I'm feeling sweaty, or, you know, these are just great for more of a heavy duty getting things clean. I've even washed dishes with these things, and they're great. But I also bring standard wet wipes for more hygiene and sanitary purposes, you know, going to the bathroom and stuff like that. So I wouldn't recommend these for hygiene and bathing. They're a little bit intense for that, but these work just fine. You can find links to all of these items down below in the description. I have affiliate links as well as my Amazon storefront, where you'll find all of my essential camping gear, and you'll also be supporting the channel. So please check out those links. Just a couple of more things that I want to mention, and I also have a channel update, so please stay tuned. But this is a first aid kit. You can get these at Walmart, very inexpensive. But this kit has a lot of stuff in it. It's got burn gel, stuff for bee stings. It even has sunscreen in there, alcohol wipes, lots of Band-Aids. It's got butterflies and even some larger bandages. So they have them at Walmart. You can also get more elaborate stuff on Amazon. I just think it's very important that you always have a first aid kit with you. And one more recommendation I have is that you invest in a nice tumbler like this one. You can get a Yeti, or you can even get something a little bit cheaper at Walmart. I got this one in Emerald Isle when I was there a couple of years ago with my kids. These are a great way to keep your drinks cold or hot. I've got some Dr. Pepper in mine right now. It's been in there all day and it's still very cold. But with the closable lid, you can help prevent spills. You can also keep bugs out of there. And it also helps reduce trash around camp. You don't have to constantly worry about throwing away cans. And if you're drinking adult beverages, do it responsibly. So really quickly, I wanted to mention a couple of things about the channel. So we might not have a new video over the next couple of weeks because we're actually in the process of preparing to go on a trip out west right now. We're going to Glacier National Park for a very specific reason, and it's very exciting. So Gina and I are going, and we're so excited. And of course, we're going to show you a lot of that. But when we come back, I'm going to get right back into camping videos. You've been seeing a lot of videos in the Ohio area, and for the next series of videos, I'll be headed east into the forests of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. I've got one trip to New York planned. Stay tuned, everybody. There's a lot coming. I really appreciate you tuning in and watching the video until the end. Of course, thank you to all the Patreon subscribers, and remember, there's Buy Me a Coffee if you want to support the channel without a subscription. That's the way to do it. The link is below. I hope you all have a very safe and fun Memorial Day weekend. Remember to be good to each other, and if you're not camping this weekend, find a way to get outside. I will see you again nowhere soon. Thanks, everybody.